Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo, and same kind of camera thing as last time. What can I say, I just feel like this is a little bit more interesting instead of just my white background, my white frickin' thing over here. Yeah. Today I have a video talking about Dragon Ball Super. Oh my god, I just keep rolling out the freaking hits, don't I? I mean, like, when was the last time I talked about Dragon Ball Super? When was the last time? Future me, put it on the freaking screen. Okay, so as you can probably tell with my tone, this is gonna be another complaint, rant, whatever you want to call it. God fucking damn it. Okay, so today, at the time of this recording, a piece of information got told to us that Gogeta Blue in this new movie is actually going to be as strong as Vegito. Yeah. Gogeta, it says something along the popular from V-Jump magazine, popular characters from the Dragon Ball world are added to the canon by Akira Toriyama Sensei's hand. If Vegito was born from the Patara earrings, then the dance fusion gives birth to Gogeta. Two equally matched ultimate trump cards. What's more, in this movie, Gogeta transforms into Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue. Go to the theater to experience this. That's just the rest of the quote. Okay. Where do I even start? Okay, so, first off, I don't have a problem with Gogeta and Vegito being on par with one another. Even though that completely contradicts the original manga and what Toei themselves have said before about Gogeta. But no, it's annoying, but let's get to the good stuff. And by the good stuff, I mean the bad stuff that makes me want to do all the violence on my frickin' bedroom. So, I think I made it pretty clear in multiple videos that I wasn't a fan of how they handled Vegito in Dragon Ball Super. Well, they just love piling on the shit, don't they? So, here's the thing. Before this information, the only fucking defense as to why didn't they just use Gogeta instead of Vegito if they wanted to have a fusion and have Goku and Vegeta time out before they defeat the villain was, oh, Gogeta isn't as powerful as Vegito, so if Vegito couldn't beat this guy, what hope could Gogeta? Now they're the same fucking strength! Like, what the fuck? And, just satiate this even fucking more, from the look of the trailer, Gogeta's gonna be the same fucking personality as Vegito. I am just so fucking arrogant that I'm going to just dick around most of this fight until you get to my level, and then I'm gonna fight at max power. But because, I am part Goku, I have to be a fucking dipshit and still not take it seriously. That's what he looks like in the trailer. Just a constant smirk on his face. He doesn't look like he is as playful as the GT counterpart, which, as much as I do like GT, I will admit that Gogeta really has no fucking reason to act that way. It was cool, but he has no reason to act that way. he seems almost exactly like fucking Vegito. So the only fucking reason, so that little defense, for the Goku Black arc, yeah, that's completely thrown out the fucking window. They could have just fused into Gogeta and done it that way, instead of fucking up Vegito with this stupid Potara retcon that doesn't even make sense in context. What the fuck? And, if anybody's watching this and is like, oh, you shouldn't be cussing or whatever, no, I am fucking angry. This is... Also, I am a grown-ass man living in my own apartment complaining about cartoons. I think I'm entitled to speak how I want to. Not naming any names, just saying. Yeah, I hate this fucking show! I hate Dragon Ball Super. I hate everything about it. I hate... for the longest time, ever since I made that video about GT and oh, is GT really as bad as people say it is? I made those couple of videos going over the narrative plot holes, which, upon thinking about them even more, I did leave out a couple of narrative problems, but I can just go into them in a part 3. I said that I was gonna do the same for Dragon Ball Super because, I'm a fair guy. No, if I seriously go through Dragon Ball Super, I may end up murdering somebody. That's an exaggeration, but it makes me so goddamn angry because the people making it are so fucking incompetent. It's like, how fucking hard is it to just look through your notes? How fucking hard is it to just attempt to keep track with your own goddamn continuity? It's not even a continuity at this goddamn point, because you keep changing everything! Fucking hate... it's not a secret that I'm a stickler for continuity. And this is why. If it was just a joke comedy series like Dragon Ball was in the beginning, you know what? Fuck it. Fine. I still would be like, hey, this doesn't make sense continuity-wise, but it's mostly a comedy, I'll let it slide. But no. And that's the thing. That's one thing that people love to just defend Dragon Ball Super with. It's like, oh, well, Dragon Ball, it wasn't made for you. It was made for children. Then that makes it even fucking worse! You fucking dipshits! Look, I'll explain this as calmly and rationally and as clearly as I can. When you make a kid show, but you reference older material that the kids haven't seen from 20 years ago, why is it there? Why is the Mafuba in the series? Why is the Kaioken there? Why is what else? The manga for Dragon Ball Super recently brought up the Dai Kaioshin, the Grand Supreme Kai. Why are all these references here if it's not made for the core Dragon Ball fucking audience that allowed this shit to be made in the first place? Dragon Ball Super wouldn't even be a fucking thing if Dragon Ball fans didn't make Battle of Gods and Resurrection F so much goddamn money. Oh, it's not made for the fans and whatever. This is just a reverse excuse of Batman, what was it? Not Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad. That was the excuse that the developers kept giving. It's for the fans! Or, no, wait, was that? It was either developers or the fans of the movie. It's like, Oh, you just don't get it. It's for the fans. Okay. So, here's the thing. You can argue it's for children, but then there's all these references for the fans. And if you are a fan of the Dragon Ball series, like an actual one, not one that is like, oh, I saw Battle of Gods, I really liked it, let me watch this show. I mean, a real one from back in the day. And you watch this show, chances are you're either nostalgia blinded, being like, oh my god, Dragon Ball is back, oh my goodness! Which, from my experience, is at least 85%, if not higher, of the people watching Dragon Ball Super that are, like, older than, like, 15. Like, my age or higher. You know? My age or higher, people are just, like, nostalgia blinded, or they just don't think about the show critically. Like, one of my friends who I debate with and just fucking vent my Dragon Ball Super rage to all the time. Dude, you do got a little bit of nostalgia bias with this shit. It's really fucking frustrating. And the people that aren't like this are either just dumb kids who never actually saw Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball, or fucking, like, they never saw GT. Or maybe they saw like 1 or 2 episodes and like, I think I got what I need. You know? It's just, it's really fucking frustrating, you know? Like, I do not blame Hail Xeon whatsoever for just leaving the franchise, for leaving the fandom, and not even doing Dragon Ball videos anymore. Because, like, I am honestly considering doing the same thing, because this fucking franchise is just irritating the fuck out of me. Every time I think about Dragon Ball Super, it makes me so goddamn angry. And the weirdest part is, okay, even if the animation wasn't all that impressive, which, yes, people, it's not good. Even the Battle of Gods arc and the Tournament of Power are not good. They have little spurts of good animation here and there, but the vast majority of these fucking scenes are just characters standing around or just moving at a fucking snail's pace, like 2 frames a second. So, just get off that fuck. Like, oh my god, like it's just fucking terrible, you know? Dragon Ball isn't a complicated formula. How do you fuck up Dragon Ball this fucking badly? Oh my god! And you know, like, I've said this before that, like, as much as I hate the anime, the manga is just as, if not even more stupid. And I still hold that true. The artwork is still fairly good, you know. I did consider, you know, just getting the manga specifically for that. No. After I'm done with this video, I'm just gonna light my 2 volumes of Dragon Ball Super manga on fire. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to. Because I don't want this shit in my possession. You know, I'm not going to see Dragon Ball Super Broly. I've already read the in-depth spoilers. And every piece of information that is revealed just makes me more and more fucking angry. I really don't fucking understand why people like this. I really fucking don't. You know, it's like, I really don't fucking understand it. You know, it's like, the only reasons I've heard from people that actually do like Dragon Ball Super is the cool fights, which there's like 3 or 4 cool fights in the whole fucking show. And the and some concepts are cool. Specifically pointing to Ultra Instinct, Goku Black, and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, just to name a few, because like they will actually point to those examples. And I'm like, okay, yes, Goku Black in concept is cool. Ultra Instinct in concept is cool. Super Saiyan Blue in concept is cool. I will admit that. I will fucking admit that. Do these concepts make any goddamn sense? Just being cool without making things make sense only fucking works if you have a series that is built upon that. You know, Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill. You know, those fucking shows are just, okay, we are just complete fucking nonsense. Don't take us seriously. Stop trying to think about us and just enjoy the ride. That is Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill. And you know what? They fucking own it. They fucking own it. You know, and like plot-wise, they have plenty of issues. You know, Kill la Kill, for example, has a point near the middle of the series where Senketsu, the living sailor uniform thing in that show, and the resident superpower gets shredded, and Ryuko, the main character, needs to go after all the pieces of Senketsu, and ends up getting all of them except for the Seki Teko. I'm probably mispronouncing that. And it's like a glove thing that was given to her in episode 2 that allows her to feed her blood to Senketsu much more easily. But it's like, oh, we still have one piece of Senketsu left to get, and it's the Seki Teko. I'm like, that wasn't a piece of you to begin with. That was an accessory separate from you that allows her to use you more easily. Did you just forget that? And I'm like, oh, the show, literally one of the fucking catchphrases of the show is nonsense is how we roll. That's it. And you know what? Just by doing that, I'm like, okay, I don't need to think about this show. I can just shut my brain off and enjoy the ride. You know? Dragon Ball Super doesn't fucking do that. But, like, even if Dragon Ball Super were trying to do that, it is a sequel to Dragon Ball Z, a series that didn't fucking do this. And didn't do that well before Dragon Ball Z was even a thing. Because, like, what was it? Near the Piccolo Daimao arc is where they are like, okay, we are stopping, well, we're not stopping the comedy aspect, but we are shifting from a gag anime manga series to being a action adventure series about aliens fighting each other. Aliens and monsters fighting each other with comedy thrown in there. You know, that's what the show became around that point. And they kept that overall way through all of Dragon Ball Z for the most part, and they even kept it in Dragon Ball Super. So, yeah, they have more comedy than in Dragon Ball Z, if you want to argue that, but it's like, no, you have 20 fucking years of history through this goddamn series. And, like, you know what? If they wanted to make a Dragon Ball series that was more comedy than anything else, a series that you just shut your brain off and watch, why didn't they just make that? Why didn't they just make their own fucking series, like, based on the characters? Or, you know what? Make a fucking spin-off with these characters. Like, what was it? What was that, spin-off? of Attack on Titan High or something. Like that spinoff that came out, the little chibi versions of the characters that just basically parodied Attack on Titan. You know, it used the same characters. It, for the most part, I think, used the same plot. I only saw like one episode. I don't know if it was actually any good, but from what I saw, it was all right. Not my cup of tea, but it was all right. You know, why didn't they fucking do that? And cut to the fucking we've got to have money. Yeah, that's basically it. That's the reason we have Gogeta and Vegito in Dragon Ball Super. That is the reason we have Broly. That is the reason for all of this fucking shit. So I'll say this one more. You know what? I'm not going to spoil this. I was going to do a Let's Play of Dragon Ball Xenoverse in the near future. And by near future, I'm not even saying actual near future, because it's like by the time that it would go up, it'd probably be not March, but sometime after March. And it's like maybe I'll be less angry at the Dragon Ball franchise by then, but I don't fucking know. You know, it's like, it's not often where I'm like, you know what, if you like this show, more power to you. I can't fucking stand it. This is one of those rare times where I'm like, if you like Dragon Ball Super, you hate the Dragon Ball franchise. And you are actively making this franchise worse. You know? It's like, even if you like Dragon Ball Super, you have to acknowledge that Dragon Ball Super is easily the worst in this fucking franchise. And if not the worst, then it is way below even the original Dragon Ball. And it's just, like, wouldn't you demand a better product? You know? Like, I sure as fuck want a better Dragon Ball product. And here's the other thing. Don't even say, oh, I'm just a blind hater of Dragon Ball Super, because, you know what? It took near the end of the goddamn series before I woke up. You know, I was complaining about the Vegito thing and whatever, but I still overall liked the series up till that point. You know, I still like, it was the Vegeta Blue Evolution, whatever fuck, surviving the final explosion that just, alright, that's the final straw. I realized that the show is shit, and that's when I woke up. You know, that is when I fucking woke up on this franchise. So don't tell me that I'm a blind fucking hater on this show, you know? If I was a blind fucking hater on this show, I would watch, I don't know, up to the 5th episode and just declare this show a fucking failure. You know? Which it is a failure. I mean, even the people who like the show say it doesn't even get good until the Goku Black arc, which doesn't even kick in until episode 46. And any show that takes 46 fucking episodes to get good is a fucking failure. What show takes 46 fucking episodes to get good? Any show that takes more than 5 is bad. You know, there are exceptions to what I just said. Any show that takes more than 5 to get good is bad. Because, you know, like Cowboy Bebop, some people say, like, oh, the show doesn't get good until around episode 6. And whatever. But, alright, if you watch 3 to 5 episodes of a show, and there's nothing grabbing you by that point, if there is nothing intriguing you to keep you to watch, the show failed. The show fucking failed by that point. And, like, what, I probably should just split this up into its own fucking video, but I'm not making another video on this. What happens in the first 5 episodes of Dragon Ball Super? Episode 1, Goku does some farming, gets money from Hercule for defeating Majin Buu. Cut to Beerus being an asshole in space. On the other side of the fucking universe, pretty much, and destroys a planet just by tapping on it. Episode 2, Vegeta has his little family vacation thing. Renounces his acknowledgement that Goku is the better man, and we cut to more Beerus doing random shit. Episode, I forget what happened during episode 3, and whatever. Episode 4, Beerus, like, discovers Goku is on, he discovers the Saiyans and goes to King Kai's planet. Episode 5, Goku and Beerus fight, and that's pretty much all that happens. The fucking series takes 5 episodes to get to the beginning of something that you could get within, 20-something minutes into Battle of Gods, where we get the Goku-Beerus fight that lasted like 2 or 5 minutes, you know? And they pad out the whole fucking fight to a point where it lasts like half the goddamn episode. And even now, with the animation fixes, that episode still looks like fucking garbage. Yeah, the keyframes are drawn better, but it still is animated like fucking garbage. Like, last time I checked, the fucking Kamehameha is not a fucking Hadouken ball. When he fires the fucking Kamehameha, it's supposed to be a fucking beam. It's not a fucking, here's a fucking energy ball, and it's just gonna fly to you, but it's just, it's a ball, it's not a beam. Like, that I will admit is nitpicky, but it's still really fucking dumb. Alright. I'm done. Whatever. If you honestly like Dragon Ball Super, if you were going to go see the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, if you were going to go pay to watch that fucking movie, just write on your forehead, I hate Dragon Ball. I don't care if your forehead isn't big enough for it. Shave part of your head so you can write it on your fucking head. I'm done.